When did you decide that you wanted to be an actor?
I think from a very early age, from the age of about 4 or 5. My first play was Peter Pan in the school play, and I got to wear green tights. I think I was hooked from then on, really.
Just the green tights did it for you
just
then?
the green tights, yeah.
Your debut was on Brookside, so that must have been the best, really. It's not like work at all.
Well, it was hard work, but I was surrounded by a lot of good friends, so there were lots of laughs on set and lots of corpsing, and I was forever, you know, mucking the shots up, laughing. So it was a lot of fun, yeah.
Incredible, really, that soap spawned so many fantastic actors.
Yeah, I mean, there's been lots of people like Sue Johnston, Ricky Tomlinson, Gillian Kearney, who's gone on to do great things. Yeah, I think the calibre of actors they employed were very good, really, and I think that was why it was so popular.
You got killed in the shower?
I did, yeah.
It was the best thing that could have happened for you.
Well, it wasn't too bad, yeah. I wasn't ready to be killed off just at that moment, but it turned out for the best, really.
What's it like for an actor when you get that script sent through and you go onto sort of page 7 and you think, no, I'm going to die in the shower?
Well, you kind of... It doesn't quite happen like that. Unless your producers are really cruel, you tend to find out that you're going to be killed off beforehand.
But let's face it, you're hardly ever out of work. You went on to Holby City. That must have been fantastic. 5 years playing a doctor? Yeah,
Holby was a massive break for me. And I'll never forget the first day, actually. They threw me into an operating scene. I had about 6 pages of dialogue, and I think they throw you in first day to see if you can cut the mustard. And right slap bang in the middle of a 6-page scene or something, it said, "I'm afraid your daughter has autosomal recessive polycystic kidney disease." And that was the first one, and I've never forgotten it.
What is it again?
Yeah, autosomal recessive polycystic kidney disease. I mean, it's no laughing matter, but it's just one I've never forgotten.
Let's talk about Just the Two of Us, the Saturday night show for BBC. You must have been mad saying yes to that.
Well, again, you know, I mean, I've been a singer all my life, really, and so to get an opportunity like that was too good to turn down, and to sing with an atomic kitten, you know, I'd be a fool to say no, really.
Let's talk about the album. So what can people hear on it?
I've been working with Nicky Campbell from Radio 5 Live fame, and Nicky has written the lion's share of tracks, and I've co-written 2 with him. It's all original swing. We call it New Swing.
Oh, what is it about swing that you love, then?
I just... the whole period, the 60s, the Rat Pack era, I just think it was a cool time to be around and to be in music. Sinatra, Dean, you know, Sammy Davis, all those guys, they were big heroes of mine.
So that's what the future holds for you?
Well, yeah, that's what we're doing at the minute, and hopefully it'll continue for a long time.
No more doctors, more swing?
Well, never say never. I'm happy to keep swinging.
There you go, you heard that here first. He's happy to keep swinging. I think we should get in, don't you?
Absolutely.
See how they're getting on with that rummaging.
Mark certainly is an all-round entertainer. And someone else who likes to think of himself as a bit of a crooner is Paul. I've heard him sing, though, and he really is better off sticking to antiques. And upstairs, as well as checking himself out, he's used his expert eye to find this brass desk stand with letter rack and 2 inkwells with bottles still intact. It's most probably a reproduction of a Victorian piece. Paul thinks it could fetch between £30 and £40. Downstairs in the breakfast room, Mark is right on the money with this coin collection. It's a real hodgepodge, minted in different eras, but includes some limited editions, such as the £2 coin and commemorative crowns and half crowns, adding another £35 to £50 towards our total. Well, I'd say the rummage seems to be going really well so far, and while Mark continues looking around his mother-in-law's home, I can't resist a little musical interlude.
You're not enjoying it?
No, there are cats around.
This is lovely.
It is.
What's the story behind this, then?
This is my granddad, and one of these trumpets were played in the Queen's coronation.
Wow.
That we know. And,
really?
And a few years ago, we found this on the internet, and it has a solo by my granddad, Jim Gladen.
Oh, yeah.
How fantastic is that?
This is amazing. This was his band box. You've got the manuscript book here as well, Gladen written on it.
Yep, and you've got a bugle as well, obviously a military background.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure of the bugle.
Right, well, this is good. Well, they're both made by Boozy and Hawkes.
That's
Have you heard of
beautiful,
Boozy
is
and
it?
Hawkes? They actually started out in Bond Street. Thomas Boozy it dates from the 18th century. And he used to sell sheet music. And of course, over time, people would come in for sheet music. You start to sell instruments, and the rest really is history. But he met Mr. Hawkes. Well, the firm actually founded Mr. Hawkes in the mid-19th century, so this goes back 200 years almost, the history here. Fantastic.
You know, in auction, who'd go for this sort of stuff?
Oh, you'd be surprised. People are always looking for well-known, good-made instruments. Trumpets, bit of military history, so the bugle is actually quite desirable because these are often used in the last post, the roll call, the end of the day in the army, or of course when when somebody dies. So there's a very poignant bit of history with an item like this, really.
So go on then, what's something like this worth?
Sort of 60 to 100.
Wow.
Hey, that's great.
So
You happy
it
with
is.
that?
Absolutely, yep.
Well, I need probably a
Brilliant.
couple of months' practice, so
I think you do.
give up now. Eh?
Okay, there you go.
Let's carry on with the rummage.
The trumpets were more sentimental than anything else, I think, because that was his profession, that was his love. And seeing the trumpets, I haven't seen them before, and being able to match them to the album as well, and the Queen's coronation, that is all quite historical. I'd like to get a good price for my granddad.
But will Vanessa's hopes of achieving the best price in her granddad's memory come good at auction?
Nice.
They look happy with the bidding.
60, 62.
But is it enough to make selling them worthwhile? We'll find out how much money the trumpet makes a little later. Our day with Mark is steaming ahead. There are plenty of potential items, and it's not long before our host finds this very intricate Indian inlaid wooden box. Made in the early 1900s, Paul has put an estimate of £25 to £40 on it. Toys, trumpets and French plates have made interesting talking points, but we still need more goodies if we're going to make that total. Paul might have found something to give us that much-needed boost.
Ah, now then, Mark. I think I found your old train set, have I?
Well, actually, these are Vanessa's dad, Bob's. He had these, I think, from when he was a kid, 1951. I think there's a date on there somewhere.
Right.
And as you can see, he looked after his toys. But there's tons of track with that as well, so I don't know how rare it is. But,
Well, it is quite a rare one, actually. The Trix Twin, actually a German manufacturer.
Right.
But it says here, patented abroad. They couldn't say patented in Germany. Of course, they couldn't mention Germany in 1951.
Oh, really?
They wouldn't mention
Even
that.
then?
Even then, you see, just after the Second World War, wasn't it?
Wow.
But what I do like about this, you've got all the trains and you've got some of the original boxes. People love to see things like that. Just look at
Yeah.
that.
That's
That
great,
is
isn't it?
untouched. That's just like Christmas 1951, isn't
I
it?
know, it's fantastic.
You know, that's you know, it's almost brand new.
You know, I mean, as you can see with the box, he did play with them, but they're still in great condition.
And is it sentimental at all?
Well, I know it's sentimental for Vanessa and her mum, as Bob sadly isn't with us anymore, but
No.
it's going to sit up in the loft and nobody's going to use it. And if it benefits the charity, I think they would like to see it go to a good home.
Well, that's it. I think this is absolutely superb. I mean, if we said 100, 150 pounds,
Wow, fantastic.
we're on the right track.
Yes, not bad. Oh, no pun intended. But for me, something that was 1951, then it's not bad, really return, is it?
Great, let's make sure it gets there in one piece, eh?
Definitely.
All right.
Well, Paul's valuation of the train set is 100, 150, possibly more. If they get some real buyers interested, there could be a bidding war. So that's quite exciting, and I think there will be. I think I'm optimistic about
I'm
the
very
train set.
optimistic about the train set.
So it's full steam ahead after that terrific find by Paul.